Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John and we have some very serious allegations and concerns to break down regarding the pop metal artist Poppy today on this episode of News It or Lose It. If you enjoy my coverage today and also hearing my opinion on the music news, then please drop a like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel. On December 28th, Poppy released a statement on her social media accounts talking about various forms of abuse that she had been a victim of over the years at the hands of Titanic Sinclair. This is her creative director and creative partner, but now former to both of those things, as she's essentially announced that she's cut him out. He's no longer a part of the picture, and that's actually awesome to hear, especially before the release of her new album, I Disagree, on January 10th. This is not the first time that we've heard claims of mental, emotional, and even physical abuse at the hands of Titanic Sinclair. In fact, his former partner, Mars Argo, who actually had a pretty successful YouTube run back in the day, made these claims, and Mars Argo is obviously in real life known as Brittany Sheets. And many of you might remember that there was a lawsuit filed by Sheets against, obviously, not only Sinclair, also Poppy, and these claims were slammed by Poppy initially, which now leads me to believe that an apology is owed to Sheets. Now, also, what a lot of you might not know is that this was settled out of court because there was a lawsuit. They managed to get it together, and now Sheets owns the rights to actually put out music or anything else under the Mars Argo name, and this was settled back in September. Now that I've laid down the groundwork for you guys to kind of understand the situation and my takeaways so far, let's move into this statement that Poppy released that essentially changes everything that we probably thought we knew about the situation. To whom it may concern, I grappled with the thought of making this statement, but I decided to do it to set the record straight. As some of you may know, my former creative partner and I have parted ways. This was a long time coming, but this is the person whom I defended in the past because I thought he was just misunderstood. The reason why I'm making this statement is due to the amount of misinformation online about me and my character, and I owe it to myself to clear a few things up. I met this person at a young age, and things were seemingly good for a while until echoes from his past were too loud to ignore. I was never an accomplice to this person's past actions like some believe. I was a person who suffered similar wrongdoings as one of his former partners brought to light. This person glamorizes suicide and has used it many times in the past to manipulate me, and the last time, I finally had enough. She goes on to say, as a grab for attention, he messaged fans before he tried hanging himself while I was on tour with an item that belonged to me. These are tactics that he used for years. This person lives an illusion that he is the gift to this earth. He weaved himself into a storyline, wanting the public to believe he was a puppeteer, which is so far from the truth. In light of recent events brought to my attention, he is already quick to jump in and use my former friends as his next experiment, repeating manipulative patterns as he has for years. I was trapped in a mess that I needed to dig my way out of, and like I always do, I figured out how to handle it. I encourage those of you who feel trapped in a situation, whether it be similar to my previous one or not, to take the first step because that is always the most difficult one. This is not a request for sympathy, and I am not a weak victim, but this is me setting the record straight. I am happier than I have ever been, and I am excited to move forward. How did we not see this one coming, huh? Well, I'm sure a lot of Poppy's fans actually did, but also there were a lot of people that went out on a limb to defend him, and if somebody like Onision can have fans still, so can Titanic Sinclair, unfortunately. Now we get the bombshell that Poppy drops in saying this has been a repeat pattern of emotional abuse and manipulation, and we can see that, and it definitely all adds up with the statements that we're seeing not only from Brittany Sheets, but also Mariah Peterson, aka Poppy. Now, I've always preferred to kind of keep it about the music when listening to Poppy and even Mars Argo. And I'm a pretty big Poppy fan. I've enjoyed her music for quite a while. Don't really keep up with like the YouTube videos and stuff. It's weird, intentionally so, but I always felt like Titanic was just kind of a weird dude. He's there, and you're like, why is he here? What exactly he's doing? I don't know. Don't really care all that much. But he was in the background, kind of being a director, if you will. I always felt that he was weird, but I never looked that much into it. But now with this new information, this new bombshell, I'm looking at things totally differently. Obviously, I do need to say that these are allegations that Poppy has brought to the light. We do not have evidence here, but I also do not see any reason as to why she would lie about this situation. It seems like instead of me blaming her for this, and even though I feel that maybe she owes Brittany Sheets an apology, it's not me coming down on Poppy and saying this is all your fault. I understand what it could be like to have a hand trying to control you, manipulate you, and bringing your friends and fans and everything like that into it. It's beyond fucked up. And then Sinclair goes as far as to start messaging people saying that he's going to take his own life. He's going to hang himself, even trying to use one of her own items to hang himself to get attention. This is somebody who's not just trying to take their own life, because they're probably not actually trying to. They're just trying to get your attention. And this is so sad to actually see somebody in that vicious cycle of going through it. And it happens again and again. And now he's trying to start the cycle up again. And hopefully this time in 2019, moving into a new decade of 2020, we don't let him get away with that. Like I said, this is fucked up beyond belief, although I don't find it that hard to believe at all. His monster side has reared its head once again, and we see his tactics as using suicide and self-harm against Poppy, against others, to make him look like a victim or like he's a god and he wants all of the attention. This is classic narcissism right here. He's not actually going to kill himself because he likes himself too much. And he uses that as leverage against Poppy and whoever else is in his life. So fuck you, dude, based on these obvious allegations. Again, I have to reiterate, but still, I don't see any reason why this would actually come to light if it weren't true, especially in this context. I love Poppy's attitude here. I love that she puts herself out there as saying, I am not some sort of weak victim. I'm moving forward. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm releasing this new material very, very soon. And I'm extremely excited to hear I Disagree on January 10th. It's probably one of the albums that I'm anticipating most in early 2020. While some of Titanic's creative direction will probably be seen on I Disagree, it's nice to know that this is the last album or EP or project, whatever, that will have that. I'm excited to see how will Poppy advance from here. I obviously would love to know if you guys are excited to hear the album as much as I am. Drop a like on this video, subscribe for the love of music, and I'll see you soon for more on Beyond ARTV.